Jon Moxley, his IWGP US Heavyweight Champion, defending his title. Well, me personally, I don't know much about Nagata, but seeing him, I know he's 53 years old, and he's saying, he's in great shape for his age.
He wants to wrestle till he's 70, and he looked like he could. It was absolutely
he really could.
incredible.
I mean, he's in really great shape, man. I have to before we talk about the match, man, I have to give props to Excalibur for being so knowledgeable about wrestling business, and especially New Japan. Like, I don't know much about New Japan, and for him to continually be so smart and tie in the story and give us the background and the history, like he did with the women's title tournament over, when he was a commentator on that, like, he did such a great job, and such a good props to him, man. He deserves the best. He's very, very intelligent, definitely a glue on the commentator team. So I got to give a lot of props to him, man. But it was hilarious. I was like, is this another one of those, sound issues that AEW was having? When I heard Wild Thing on Jon Moxley, I'm like, what's going on? Is the NBA playing, or is there like the
no,
MLB?
Ethan Page wasn't out on screen, so you're good. No, honestly, man, and like AEW is just continuing to go above and beyond to make the presentation great. I mean, you think about like what we get to see now with Ruckus's original theme musics are always on point, and they're always fantastic. But when you get to see AEW pulling out all the stops, giving Jungle Boy his theme song now, and Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends get the Pixies, and now you get to see Moxley coming out to Wild Thing. What a perfect fit to his character as a Cleveland boy. And I know Moxley's from the Cincinnati area, so from those major league movies, they hit home for me, and so I was popping hard, dude. I loved it. I jumped off the couch. I was like, oh yeah, baby! I was shaking my fist. I love Wild Thing. I loved it, and it fits Moxley's approach to wrestling, not just in AEW, but in his entire career, man. Mox, dating back to his CZW days, dating back to when he first was breaking into the business. This is a guy who literally, I mean, like you name it, he went through it. This dude was willing to put himself through hell. I've watched stuff where you would be covering your eyes. Yeah, I mean, this guy is a legend for a reason, man. Moxley is very quickly establishing himself on a global scale as one of the top guys in professional wrestling, and a guy that people want to work with. He clearly gets it. Moxley's matches always, and this is what I love about him, is he's grown and matured over his career. He still showcases that edge and that violence and that desire, that sort of that like throw it balls to the wall type of mentality. He'll do whatever it takes to win. But so much of his matches are wrestled in a way, or fought in a way, that are safer than they ever been. Moxley really, I mean, he had a little blood tonight, but you could tell you put a 53-year-old man in who was in great shape, right? But you're going to put him in the ring with somebody who you trust. And Moxley is the utmost professional. This match was fought back and forth. A lot of stiff forearm shots went back and forth. It was telling that Mox ended up bloodied in this match, and blood was a theme tonight's show. But Moxley really, I felt like, showed respect, and we saw at the end of this match where the two bowed to each other sort of in the ring and kind of gave respect not only to each other but to the belt itself. But this was a good side of Mox, man. This was a really, like, for me as a fan, you get to see a little bit of those babyface vibes coming through Mox. And, Mox is always kind of that, like, that rebel, that kind of guy, like a rebel without a cause kind of mentality. And this was a very clear, focused Mox. And I think it's evident when Mox has the belt, has a title, when Moxley has the gold, it almost kind of dials him in a little bit. It gives him a little bit more focus as a character who's always kind of bouncing around this chaotic Tasmanian devil type of character that he is. Like, he gets a little bit more of that focus, and I think that him as a prize fighter makes a lot of sense. I thought the tonight's show match led off very hot, very stiff, back and forth blows to each other. But I felt like Mox really, really funny. I felt like Mox really, really, to me, showed a side that is refreshing, and I want to see more of this type of Mox going forward.
For sure, and I'm a sucker for good chops and good kicks, and we saw a lot of good kicks too, man. And I that is, you nailed it on the head. You know, Mox being a prize fighting champion, like that does make him so much more. And you know, he's going to be prize fighting a Double or Nothing, you know, in that tag title match. So that is very well said and a good way to kick off Dynamite.